Welcome to Family Gamer TV. Now today I want to talk about the Wii U. Now in our family we've had the latest Nintendo console that has this Gamepad controller for a number of years now, and we've really been enjoying it. But I wanted to revisit what is it about the Wii U that makes it a good fit for families, and what are the features that we found work really well. Well, most recently we've been using the Gamepad along with the Amiibo figurine. So unlike other platforms, it's nice that NFC tech is built into the Gamepad, so you can take your Amiibo, which are these little plastic figurines that are more than just toys. They have a smart chip in the base, and they let you unlock characters, unlock new modes, costumes, and all sorts of content in games. You just place your Amiibo on the Gamepad, and that brings that content into the game, which is nice because you don't have to buy a separate peripheral. There are also games recently along those lines, like Skylanders. This year has a special version of Bowser in the game that works both as a Skylander and as an Amiibo. And that version of Skylanders is only available on the Wii and the Wii U, and those characters only work in the Wii and Wii U platforms and 3DS as well. So that's a nice little bonus in some of those new games. But along with that, we've also enjoyed some of the sort of multiplayer games that make special use of that Gamepad tablet, along with some of the old controllers that we had. Now, we had a Wii U, we've tracked with it, we really loved Wii Sports, a whole set of Wii games. Go Vacation was another popular game in our family, and we had a bunch of these Wii remote controllers. No doubt you maybe have got one or two in your home. Now, when you move on to a Wii U, you can still use your Wii controller with the Wii U to play multiplayer games. Now, some of the games I really like because the people with the Wii remote and the people with the Gamepad have different roles to play. So an example of a game that came out along with the Wii U at launch actually is Nintendo Land, and a game in there, Mario Chase, where 4 players have a Wii remote each, one each, and they're using the TV screen to try and escape the player who's got the Gamepad and has the map and all the details on the Gamepad to try and evade the people pursuing them. Equally, another game in Nintendo Land uses the Wii Gamepad and its gyroscope control, so you look around the room, so you're not just standing still, but you're running around the room looking up and down, and on the screen of the Gamepad it shows you what you would see in the game if you're looking around. So it extends that gameplay from the TV out into the room around you, and as a parent I really like that, the way that it gets not only the kids active, but also it engages their imagination in extending the gameplay from a flat screen into the space and the living room, and the way they play these games is very different, as you can see. A game we tracked with in the past and we visited in HD on the Wii U was Zelda Wind Waker. Now, this is a classic Zelda adventure in cartoon style, but having it on the Wii U meant that you had the map and some of the details away from the TV screen on the Gamepad controller. But equally, it was a chance for me to revisit a game with my kids, and actually me and my wife played it while the kids were in bed. And they then would come and join us again in the morning, and we would progress through the game like that. So the Wii has got plenty of these games that are also good for parents as well as kids. We'll be looking at more of those games later in this series of videos. Most recently we've been enjoying a shooting game called Splatoon, and this is one of the Amiibos that you use with the Splatoon game that unlocks new modes and new costumes. In the game, it's kind of like an alternative to shooting, because you are shooting with guns in some cases, but they're more like water pistols, and so you're covering the arena with ink and also your competitors, and I really like that. It's a real sort of non-violent approach to some of these shooting games that as my kids get older, they're sort of keen to play those sorts of titles, and Splatoon is a game that keeps it very much family friendly. There's a 2-player mode you can play locally, and equally there's a really competitive, nice, high energy, exuberant mode of Splatoon in online play as well. Now, of course, as with any modern console, there's a lot of social activity and connectivity with friends, and that happens on the Wii U in the Miiverse area. And here you can go on, you can leave comments about games, you can draw pictures, you can comment on other people's pictures, and essentially build up some really nice, free social interactions with other players. And I like how that is slightly more restrained than other sort of social media, so my kids can go on that and I know they're safe, and equally they really enjoy hearing about how other players on the Wii U are playing games, and often they find good games to play by their interactions that they have on the Miiverse, by other players that they know, chatting away with which games they play, and see which pictures they're drawing, which games those drawings relate to. So I think the Miiverse is another good aspect of the Wii U. It adds that sort of social nature, but does it in a really safe way for families. Other games we've really enjoyed on the Wii U are Mario Kart, and there's a whole host of different amiibos that unlock costumes in Mario Kart for you to do that. That's a sort of 4-player kart racing action, loads of courses, and it's been really nice to see how that's developed over time. There's been downloadable content, which means you can update your game for a small fee and get extra content, extra courses, and it really extends the life of that experience. So there you go, that's my introduction. If you've not come across the Wii U hardware before, some really nice aspects of it. I think it's one that's well worth considering for families if you're looking at upgrading your console as we approach the holiday season. Now, this is the first of a few videos we'll be doing looking at the Wii U. We're also going to look at the eShop, which is the downloadable games you can buy on the console. We'll also be looking at, as I said, what games are good for parents on the console. So maybe you want to look at buying something that's not just going to be good for the kids, but also offers you experiences that you can share with your partner in an evening, playing on the TV once the kids are in bed. And of course, we'll be looking at more detail in what the Amiibos have to offer, both the physical Amiibo figurines and also the new collectible Amiibo cards, which are a nice cost-effective way of getting in on those smart figurine unlockables. So there you go, that's our first look at the Wii U hardware as we approach Christmas. We'll be back with more on the Wii U, more on the 3DS, and more on all sorts of other games and consoles soon.